Arcadian Vanguard presents the Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Monday, February 20th, 2023. Good morning. I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with WWE news. WWE returned to A&E last night for a new season of programming, including the season premieres of WWE Rivals and WWE Biography WWE Legends. Biography premiered with a look at the story of the New World Order, while Rivals spotlighted the feud between Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. Future episodes of Legends this season will include Jake the Snake Roberts, Chyna, and Kane, while Rivals will include Undertaker against Mankind, The Rock versus John Cena, and Triple H against Batista. In All Elite Wrestling news, AEW has filed a new trademark which appears to be for the purposes of launching a new television show. The term AEW Collision, filed last Wednesday with the United States Patent and Trademark Office, is described as, quote, a continuing program about the wrestling accessible by radio, television, satellite, audio, video, and computer networks, end quote. There is no word on when and where the show would air, or on what would be the exact nature of its content. We will keep you updated as more information becomes available. Turning to Japan, New Japan Pro Wrestling has announced a full card for its upcoming 51st anniversary show, which is being held at the Ota City General Gymnasium in Tokyo on March 6th. The feature match on the show will see IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Kazuchika Okada team up with his longtime rival Hiroshi Tanahashi, and the pair will challenge Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi for the Bishamon team's IWGP World Tag Team title. Already announced for the March 6th show are two first-round matchups in the New Japan Cup tournament, Tomohiro Ishii against David Finlay, and Shota Umino versus Yujiro Takahashi. A tag team match featuring Hiromu Takahashi and Bushi against Lio Rush and Yo will also take place, and serves as a heat-up for Hiromu defending the IWGP World Junior Heavyweight title against Lio Rush on March 21st. Coming off their Battle in the Valley show in San Jose on Saturday, New Japan Pro Wrestling is off until Tuesday when the company's annual Fantastica Mania tour begins. Running annually since 2011, the tour showcases New Japan's relationship with CMLL by running a series of lucha-themed cards and imports a roster of lighter-weight luchadors from Mexico. The tour was canceled for the last 2 years due to travel restrictions in the wake of the COVID-19 global pandemic. Taking a look at Mexico, the International Wrestling Revolution Group ran Sunday in their home building of Arena Naclopan and featured two title matches. In the first, Spiderfly made the second defense of the IWRG Intercontinental Lightweight title by defeating Kenji. The other saw Puma de Oro upend Jean Tito to make the first defense of his IWRG Intercontinental Middleweight Championship. The show's main event featured a tag team match which ended with Gran Guerrero and Ultimo Guerrero defeating Hijo del Canis Lupus and Tonali. And we close with some unfortunate news. Actor and stand-up comedian Richard Belzer has passed away at the age of 78 at his home in the south of France, according to The Hollywood Reporter. Although perhaps best known for playing Detective John Munch on the TV series Homicide and the Law & Order Special Victims Unit for 23 years, Belzer is also remembered by wrestling fans of the 1980s for an infamous incident which occurred on his Lifetime cable talk show Hot Properties in 1985, in which then WWF World Champion Hulk Hogan accidentally put him to sleep while demonstrating a front face lock on him, then released the hold, causing the unconscious Belzer to fall to the floor, splitting his head open. Hogan and his tag team partner Mr. T had been appearing on the show to promote their upcoming match against Roddy Piper and Paul Orndorff in the main event of the first WrestleMania. As a result of the incident, Belzer filed a lawsuit against Hogan, which was settled in 1990, with Hogan reportedly paying Belzer $400,000. Belzer would use the money from the settlement to buy his home in France, which he named Chez Hogan. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, Just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News Podcast, and remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.